Attention passionate Montreal, canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Montreal canadiens fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Canadiens this season, you know it's been a roller coaster, right? The team has been through a lot of ups and downs, and there's been plenty of buzz surrounding their roster, especially when it comes to the young prospects trying to make their mark. And today, we're going to talk about one of those prospects who, despite all his efforts, might be facing a tough road ahead. I'm talking about Joshua Roy, a name that's been buzzing around the Montreal Canadiens camp, but maybe not in the way he or the fans hoped for. So let's set the scene. The Canadiens, like every team, have their sights set on building for the future, and they've got a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young players. This season, there's a lot of anticipation around Roy, especially because he was a fifth-round pick in the 2021 draft and had shown flashes of brilliance in junior hockey. His offensive skills were undeniable, and he has scored a total of 67 points in 88 games for Laval over the past 2 seasons. That's pretty impressive for a young player still trying to find his footing at the NHL level. But here's the thing, making that jump from junior or AHL level to the NHL isn't just about scoring points. It's about impact, consistency, and the ability to adapt under pressure. Roy has been trying to do just that. This past summer, he ramped up his training, going all in with an intense UFC-style workout program. I mean, he was really committed to transforming his game, trying to put himself in the best position to earn a spot on the Canadiens roster. That kind of dedication is what every young player dreams of, right? But when camp opened and the preseason games started, the results just weren't enough. Despite all his efforts, Roy seemed to struggle to make that final impression needed for a permanent spot in the lineup. And this brings us to the recent announcement from the Canadiens. After a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, the team revealed their first wave of cuts, and unfortunately, Roy was one of the 24 players reassigned to the AHL to start the Laval Rockets training camp. It's a disappointing moment, no doubt. For a player like Roy, who's shown so much potential, being sent back to the minors can be tough mentally. It's a reality check, a test of resilience. But what does it really mean for his future with the Canadiens? That's the big question. Now I want to pause here for just a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Montreal Canadiens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Back to the story. Despite Roy's promising junior career, his limited NHL experience, just 35 games, has made it clear that he still has a lot to prove. His time in the league so far has been somewhat underwhelming, and that's why the coaching staff and management are being so cautious. The truth is, the Canadiens are in a period of transition, and they're looking for players who can bring more than just offensive flashes. They want players who can contribute in multiple ways, on the penalty kill, in different roles, bringing physicality, and adding layers to the team's overall game. That's where players like Florian Exekaj have been standing out, showing that they bring more than just raw talent. They bring versatility and grit, the kind of qualities that can help a team win in the playoffs. And that's precisely why Roy's chances are looking slim right now. Despite his offensive talent, he just hasn't demonstrated enough in the more nuanced aspects of the game. It's not just about scoring goals or setting up plays. It's about consistency, physicality, and showing a willingness to adapt and grow. Some analysts have pointed out that Roy's offseason routine, which he changed in an effort to improve, didn't translate into meaningful on-ice improvements. Florian Exekaj, for example, has been praised for his physical presence, his ability to play multiple roles, and his willingness to do the dirty work. That's the kind of player the Canadiens are increasingly valuing, especially in today's NHL, where a well-rounded game can make all the difference. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Canadiens moving forward. the team is clearly trying to find the right blend of youthful energy and veteran stability. They're looking for players who can step into the lineup and make an immediate impact, not just in the regular season, but in the intense, high-stakes environment of the playoffs. Players like Roy, who have shown flashes of brilliance but haven't quite managed to put it all together, are facing an uphill battle. But don't get me wrong, this isn't the end of the road for Roy. Sometimes, a stint in the AHL can be exactly what a player needs to refine their game, develop new skills, and come back stronger. The Canadiens, under the current management, have been very strategic about their roster decisions. They're not just looking for the best offensive talent, they want players who can bring energy, physicality, and adaptability to the ice. Florian Exhekaj, for example, has been praised for his ability to play on the penalty kill, his physical style, and his versatility. These are the qualities that coaches and management are prioritizing in today's NHL, especially as they aim for a deep playoff run. And unfortunately for Roy, despite his offensive potential, he just doesn't yet bring enough of these other intangibles. Looking ahead, it's clear that Roy will need to continue working hard, refining his game, and trying to add more layers to his skill set if he wants to get another shot with the Canadiens. The team is always on the lookout for players who can fill multiple roles and bring that extra edge, especially in a division as competitive as the Atlantic. The Canadiens are building a team that's not just talented, but also tough, versatile, and hungry for success. They want players who understand that every shift, every game, counts toward their ultimate goal of contending for a Stanley Cup again. For the fans, it's a mixed feeling. You root for these young guys, hoping they can develop into the stars of tomorrow. But you also understand that the NHL is a brutal league, where only the best make it to the top. Roy's story is still being written, and maybe this setback will serve as motivation for him to come back even stronger. It's a lesson in perseverance, in understanding that sometimes you need to take a step back before you can truly move forward. And if he can work on those intangible aspects, maybe we'll see him back in the Canadiens lineup someday, making a real impact. But right now, the focus shifts back to the players who are in the lineup, who are fighting for their spots, and who are eager to make a statement in this season. The Canadiens have a talented core, and with players like Florian Exhekaj showing their value, it's clear that the team is heading in a direction that emphasizes depth, versatility, and grit. It's a blueprint that can take them deep into the playoffs if executed well. And for Roy, the next few months will be crucial. Whether he can develop those additional layers to his game, or whether he'll need to take another step in level, remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, Montreal fans are watching closely, and everyone is rooting for their young prospect to succeed. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Canadiens. Do you think Roy will bounce back and make a strong case for a future spot? Or do you believe this was the last shot for him in Montreal? Whatever your thoughts, I'm eager to read them. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Montreal Canadiens news. We're in this journey together, and your passion keeps this community alive. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Habs.